Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Let's give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, and double honors the apostles, elders, and bishops, great millstone that taught us his word, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth. I just want to talk about this guy. Goes by the name of Drewski. Yeah, he's one of these online, content creators. These guys that act a fool in front of a camera for clicks and views. They call it content creation for this new generation, but it's really nothing new. Back in my day, like the MTV '90s generation, they do the same thing. They take 20-somethings, young guys and girls, and put them in a house and videotape them running around acting stupid, fighting each other. Like Jersey Shore, these Italians, acting stupid in camera. But that's folly and great dignity. That's what gets the views and the clicks. But this guy went out and he started, to mock, the Israelites. The Lord, the Most High, is not mocked. He doesn't delight in you making fun of the way he chooses to have his word taught on the street corners, man. So you got these guys making light, and this isn't the first time. You had this other guy, Mike Epps, another one of those comedians, one of those little laughing Negroes, always cracking jokes. He mocked, the Israelites. He put on a garment and ran out into the streets and, try to speak the way the Israelites were speaking, that's right, and all that. But, you laughing now. The Lord said you're going to weep later. They don't want to listen to the word. They want to just make fun of it. So that's proof positive that, they came across this truth. They understand, they heard it. So the blood is off, our hands, man. But yeah, it says Drewski just dropped the Black Israelite skit with a laughing emoji, laughing, crying, laughing. All these skits, especially a lot of these women, just laughing, laughing emojis. Laughing emojis, just having a good old time, mocking the word. All these different comments. All these likes, comments, and this is on Facebook. But yeah, everybody's having a good old laugh, laughing at the way the Lord chooses, or the way the Lord wants to push his word. But, Most High's gonna get these dudes, man. This is Luke 6:25. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Yeah, these top creators, like this Drewski guy, he gets probably millions of views, gets a lot of money. They make a lot of money in advertisement. They call it AdSense and advertisement. A lot of them get endorsements, probably pulling like 10 grand a month, 20 grand, 40 grand, up to like 80 grand a month. So this guy's making some money, man. And the older one, you got that, what's the other guy? There's a bunch of them, They're making money. So the Lord said, woe unto you woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation. So you received his consolation. You got his little money, his little fame over the internet. Got him a little following. The Lord said, woe unto these dudes, man. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Yeah, instead of taking heed to the word, instead of taking heed to the warning, they want to mock it and they want to laugh at it. All these people came across. 70 replies to just one reply. You got 34 replies to just one reply. You got 34 replies to this one chick's comment. 7 replies to this one. All women too, you know. All these little laughing emojis, laughing, making fun of the Lord, making fun of the Lord's men. It says, woe unto you. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. They're all going to mourn and weep because they didn't take heed to the warning. They didn't choose to get right. Ultimately, they didn't believe. Ultimately, they didn't have fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, these guys, they lack fear, you know, mocking the Lord, you know. But he's going to mourn and weep. All these dudes, man, they're going to mourn and weep. All these women, proud-ass women, they're going to mourn and weep in that day, man. And the blood is off our hands, man, because we told them. This is a Sodist generation, man. Sodist children. You know? It's got total, 37,000 likes, 4,000 comments, 9,000 shares. And this was just on Facebook, you know. This went viral on a lot of different platforms, man. But if they were wise, you know, they would take heed to this word and serve the Lord with fear, as the scripture says, Psalms 2:11, serve the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, with fear, and rejoice with trembling. So, you know, there's a huge lack of fear with these Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. It's a huge lack of fear. They don't understand the Lord, man. But the Lord's going to make himself known real soon, man. Real soon, he's going to put that fear in you. So Galatians 6:7, be not deceived, for the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So it says the Most High is not mocked, man. So you're going to get mocked, you know, when that fear cometh. Like it says in Proverbs, man. You sow it, you know, you're going to reap it, man. But at the end of the day, like it says, you know, Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So all these people are fools. They despise the wisdom. That's why they're making fun of, you know, the way the Lord chooses to push his word, man. He despises wisdom and knowledge. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. And none of these dudes, these men, these women, these content creators, little comedians out here, joking Negroes, you know, they don't fear the Lord, man. But the Most High is going to put that fear in them. Just believe that, man. As Hebrews 10:31, for it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands, and we're going to see it, you know. Why is it a fearful thing, man? Because the Most High controls. He controls everything, man. You know. This is Isaiah 66:4. I also will choose their delusions. I will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that which I delighteth not. The Lord said he will bring their fears upon them. Let's flip that to the AMP. You know, these clowning comedians out here. So I will choose their punishments, and I will bring the things they dread upon them. He was going to bring the things they dread. The Most High created the phobias. Most High knows exactly what you fear the most. He's going to bring that upon you, man. And hey, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. But these dudes want to mock at the Lord, you know. They want to do these skits, making fun, little clown, little laughing emojis, crying. But the Lord said these emojis, they're crying through the laughter. But soon they're going to be crying through mourning, as we just read in Luke. Woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. So these tears of joy are going to turn to tears of sorrow real soon, man. Because when I called, but no one answered. When I spoke, they did not listen or obey. Yeah, they mocked. That's why, the Lord called them, because they came across the word. They heard it at some point. They heard the prophets, or whoever of some other camp. They heard it, and what do? They mocked it. It looks like he has the Hebrew on his shirt, But, they mocked it. The Lord called, and they slapped it away. So the Lord's going to choose their delusions and bring their fears upon them. And that day is coming up real soon, man. But they did evil in my sight and chose that which I did not delight. Yeah, this is evil. This is not what the Lord delights in, man. Mocking at the way he chooses to push the word. The Lord said, go out to the highways and the byways. The Lord said, put on a garment, with the fringes and the border of blue. And they're mocking all this, man. But they did evil and chose that which I did not delight. So, the Lord's going to get them, man. I can't wait. Going back to Proverbs. Yeah, this is Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. This is what you're not supposed to make fun of the way the Lord chooses, the way the Lord wants to push out wisdom and the truth and the knowledge, man. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gate. In the city she uttereth a word, saying, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Yeah, the point of being, she crieth in the chief place. They're making fun of the way, they were crying out. See, they're mocking that, Scripture say, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. The Most High wants you to raise your voice and to push this word and be on fire for the truth. You ain't supposed to make fun of that. That shows a zeal for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's what he delights in, man. But these are simple ones. It says, right, how long, you simple ones, will ye love simplicity? That's what they're doing. How long will you simply, these are all simple, and they're loving their simplicity, man, for some views and some clicks. And scorners delight in their scorner, and fools hate knowledge. How long are you fools going to hate knowledge? How long are you scorners going to scorn? Until the Lord brings that fear on them, man. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. And when the Lord chooses their delusions, that's how long. Until the missiles, until that time of Jacob's trouble hits, that's when, that's how long. When they can't, buy no food. Or when the military's in the streets, gunning them down, sparing them none, man. Or when they get tossed in a fucking concentration camp. That's when they're going to take it seriously, But it's going to be too late. Turn you on my reproof, behold. I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I'll make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refused. I stretched out my hand and no man regarded. So they all heard the truth at one point. That's why they're so confident in this. You got the armbands and the garments, border blue with the fringes and all that. Talking about, that's right. You get the spirit in you. It's like, you hear the word, you scream, man. Just like we read, he crieth in the chief place of concourse. Wisdom crieth without. Really, they ain't regarded it, man. But ye have said it not, all my counsel, and would none my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. So yeah, you're mocking the Lord now when your fear cometh. When the Lord sets your delusions, when the Lord chooses your delusion and bring your fears, the things that you fear the most on you, the Lord's gonna mock. The men of the Lord, the prophets, they're gonna have a grand old time making fun of you ninjas out here, man. You comedians, man. You laughing niggas. You know, the Lord's gonna have be mocking you. You know, blood's gonna go up to the horse's bridle, man. They're all gonna feel it, man. The Lord sees all this, man. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall ye call upon me, but I will not answer. Then ye shall seek me early, but ye shall not find me. So yeah, when their fear cometh as desolation, when your fear cometh as a whirlwind, that's when these niggas, you know, that's when he's got the name on his shirt. He's gonna be calling on that name in that day. I bet you, but the Lord ain't gonna hear it. It's gonna be too late. They're gonna be seeking out the men of the Lord, man. There's gonna be a famine of the word. They're gonna be seeking out the men of the Lord. They ain't gonna be mocking. They ain't gonna be mocking the men of the Lord. They're gonna be seeking them out. And guess what? They're not gonna be able to find it. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. So it's all about the fear of the Lord, man. These guys, they don't fear the Lord, man. These little scoffers, all the comment boards, agreeing and just laughing, all these laughing emojis, you know. They don't fear the Lord. So they're gonna get it, man. With that, yeah, like this, what was this comment right here? Dude is taking comedy to the limit. Drewski ain't right at all. Laughing dead. He got that skull mark, put that death mark on him. Yeah, death is coming for this Ashley Peters bitch. Put a death mark on him. Talking about some dead laughing. You be dead, you know. Be dropping dead, man. Boy, he can't be stopped. Yeah, he gonna get it good for this. He is gonna get it good. I was shy. Drewski is probably the best African American streamer in the world. Besides Speed, that is. I think he found his niche. Laughing. Man, the Lord's gonna get all these dudes. But hey, man, with that, shalom.